Are you ready, Steve? Andy? Yeah! Bert? Well, all right, fellas. Let's go!
You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN Emini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things Emini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro. Joining us today, Mr. Michael Borth. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Tuesday, 26th day of October, 2021. Thanks so much for joining us. Whoever you are, wherever you are, we're just glad to have you right here, right now. If you can't see the screen I have up, go to our homepage at cfrn.net. On the right-hand side of the page, click the big microphone, follow the instructions. You'll be registered in about 30 seconds. That will give you one-click access to the show each and every day. On the days you're out of the office or away from your desktop, there's two other ways to join the show. You can point any internet-connected browser to cfrn.net/live. There you'll find a live, real-time simulcast of the show as it unfolds. You just won't have access to the chat box. Also, we stream live each day on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/CFRN. Easy to remember. Not only do we stream live each and every day during the broadcast, but we archive every daily show. Currently, there are over 1,800 daily live broadcasts archived there for your educational and viewing pleasure. So with that, we'll open with a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, your wisdom, and support as we begin this broadcast. Help us to engage in meaningful discussion. Allow us to grow closer as a group and nurture the bonds of our community. Fill us with your grace, Lord, as we make decisions that affect everyone associated with CFRN. And continue to remind us that all that we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth, for the greater glory of you, and for the service of humanity. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Well, happy Tuesday, guys. I do hope it is a happy Tuesday for you, whoever you are and wherever you are. Let me give you the numbers from around the world. These are the cash markets, the indices as they're called. Starting here in the U.S., the Dow is up 53 points. The NASDAQ is up 44 points. S&P 500 is up 14 points. And the Russell 2000 is up 3. So some pretty quiet, tepid trade. In the commodity basket, crude oil up 89 cents, trading 84.65 last. It's a gain of a little over 1%. Gold down $16.60, trading $17.90.20 last. That's a drop of almost 1%. Silver down 54 cents, trading $24.04 last. That's a drop of a little over 2%. The Asian markets at the close. Nikkei posted a gain of 505 points. Shanghai fell 12. The Hang Seng dropped 93. And in the European markets at the close, the FTSE was up 54 points. DAX posted a gain of 157 points, which is 1%. And in the CAC, gained 53 points, which is almost 1%. That gives us a mixed day in Asia, but a green day in the UK. And so far, it's a big green Radio Tuesday here in the US of A. So with that, if Michael's ready, we'll go to him and get a recap of everything that happened this morning in the live training room. After that, I'll come back. We'll take a look at the logic alerts, the concierge trade alerts. Of course, at any time during the broadcast, if you have a question, just type it into the question box. We'll be more than happy to answer that question for you. So, Michael, are you ready to take it away? Okay. I guess not quite yet. So, with that, we'll look at a daily chart. S&P 500 E-mini futures. Yesterday, we had a new all-time historic closing high. This was the last official historic closing high back here. Let's see, this closing high was 45.32, and this closing high was 34.5. So yesterday was the new official intraday closing high. We have a new all-time historic intraday high. Don't worry about politics or pandemics or any of that, because that's not what's stopping this market. It actually appears to be what's driving this market. So let's see if we can drag that line up too. There we go. Pretty close. All right. So from here, at the new all-time historic intraday high, which is 45.89 and a quarter, the shallowest possible fib retracement of the last leg up would be right here at 45.12/13. Below that, we've got the 38% fib retracement, which lines right up currently with the daily BBC. Both of those should be potentially good support. The 24 should give us a nice bounce. The 38, a nice bounce. If we get below the 38, if we get below the 50, this bearish cross here that led to this incredible rally to the upside, you can be quite confident that area will give us a pretty substantial bounce. Just like when price here returned to the bearish cross, look at that leg to the downside. It's the power of the cross. It's just a little different power than what you learned in Sunday school. Is that you, Michael?
That is me.
Okay, brother, if you're ready, you can take it away.
Okay, let me send this one thing to Bill right now. Get all these links up to everyone.
Were you able to help Bill get his his slingshot going?
That's why I'm sending him a link for right now for a meeting.
Right.
I got meetings lined up with a whole bunch of people that were having trouble. Okay. Here we go.
To everyone who experienced difficulties this morning with the trading platform, I extend my apologies. It's not my fault, but somebody's got to apologize, so I'm just going to step up to the mic and tell you that I'm very sorry it happened.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, but we were able to get some trading in. I mean, we switched. I got the demo was going, but the live wasn't, and then the live was going, but the demo wasn't, and so it went back and forth a little bit, but we got the goal for the day. That's what counts.
All right, that's good. Well, I'm gonna hit mute on my end, and I'll see you in a few.
Okay, all right. Here we go. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Tuesday, the 26th day of October, 2021. Now, if you've not taken a free trial with us, go here to eminitrainingschool.com. On this page, all we ask for is your first name, your email, and your phone number. You can tell us your biggest trading challenge so we can tailor 101 trading just for you. Hit the send button, you'll be sent the confirmation link. You must click on that confirmation link, okay? If you don't click on the confirmation link, we don't know that you took the free trial, so make sure you click on that link. All right, recaps. Now, as I said, today was kind of messed up, but we did go through the morning session as we normally do and did our best to help everyone who had any questions and work our way through the markets. Now, we'll get into that in just a few minutes here, but today, let's see. As I said, if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got all the CFTC risk disclosures on the bottom. I have to say that. Today is the 26th day of October, 2021. We made 17 ticks in crude. We're break even on gold, and we didn't even trade the ES. So that puts us at plus 170 on the morning session. Today, it took 2 minutes and 1 trade to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up $100 a contract, and we took a total of 14 trades. So on the month now, we're up $10,292 a contract. That's over 18 trading days, averaging $571 per contract per 2-hour trading day. We've now gotten our goal for the day on 204 out of 207 possible days, and that puts us at $121,102 on the year. That's over 207 trading days, averaging $585 per contract per 2-hour trading day. Now in here, let's see. If you were to quit trading when you got your goal for the day and add 1 contract per month, so far this year you would have worked 55.33 hours and averaged $2,528 per hour. Okay. All right. Let's get into what happened. Now, this is going to be a little bit messy to do because we ended up starting out with this, and this is where we had. All right, I'm going to start out with gold like this, and you see this was demo because live wasn't working. But there were a few trades right here, right at the very open, but I was trying to get stuff going here, and so I missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades right there. The next trade that we actually did do was right here. We picked up 10 ticks on that. Then we stopped out, put us to +2. Then we picked up 6, put us back to +8. Then we stopped out again, put us back to 0. We had a couple of break-even trades right through here. And then we stopped trading demo. Okay, and so let me put that down here and bring up the live. Okay. All right, because then live came to life and demo did not. And that was right in here. See right here, we went from 1015 to 1040 right there. This is when they rebooted the whole system in that 1015 to 1040 period there. In that, however many minutes that is, 20 minutes, roughly 25 minutes. And so we didn't really do any trading in here. I highlighted this right here when it was happening, and we went through trade setups as they were showing up, but I didn't really put any more trades on in here. I only did 1 more trade actually in crude oil during that period. But it doesn't really look like there's anything else going on here. Maybe a long right here on gold. Actually, if we were to draw the trend line, it would have looked like this. Okay, from right there. Okay, so now we'll go to crude and we'll start out in the demo of crude. Okay, the way that this worked out this morning is we had the first trade was right in here. Now, let's see. At 9:30, there were some things happening right in here. There was a trade there and a trade there that I missed, but demo wasn't working at that point. Nothing was working, I think. And then it came to life. And so then it was actually working. I just wasn't looking at it. You can see how the lines changed in here. And this is where I actually started getting to it, was right in here. Because I was doing something with it, trying to get it to work properly. Anyway, we had, and I'll apologize to everyone that was there this morning that had to endure all that with me. It's out of our hands. It was out of Daniel's Trading's hands. right here was the first long that we took. The very first long that there was right here, but the one that we took was right here, and we picked up 3 ticks there, then missed that one. 4 ticks there to put us at +7. Then we stopped out, put us at -1. Then right here we picked up 4 ticks to put us at +3. Then we didn't do anything through here. And in here we went from +3 to +11, it looks like. So I picked up 8 ticks there. And then went from +11 to +17. So I picked up 6 ticks there. I had highlighted these areas, and then they rebooted the system. So then we came back in here with live. And I think we placed one more trade in live here. Yeah, right here is where it switched and came back. We placed one trade here and took a break even. It did make it up to the numbers that I thought it was going to get to. There was one trade right here that was kind of questionable. It had lower highs and lower lows, so you could have taken it and got a break even on it. Things spun around and it gave nothing right through here. And I highlighted these 2 numbers up here. It did eventually get to both of those, but it took its time getting there. Didn't give you any trade setups, and then we got into the break right here. During the break, there was one long right there, another long right there, and that was it. And now the ES, I'm just going to use the live for the ES. I didn't do anything with the ES all morning. It was just a mess all morning. Okay, you see it was all this, all through here, no trades. And then we're on the other 2 markets. We went from demo to live because one stopped working and one started working. I'm still not sure if demo is working. Let me see. Hold on. Here. No, demo's still not working. Okay, so anyway, during the break here, we had no trades at all on the ES. And then during the break here, it made a big move down. It gave one short trade right here. Turned around and started to make a big move up. It gave nothing. Then it gave another short trade right here off the BBC. That was during the break. Okay, and one more long trade right here. And that was it. That was it for the morning session. Okay. All right, well, so let's go back here and we'll go over the spreadsheet. Now, I was fortunately able to get the goal for the day on the first trade and get that done. And today, if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures on the bottom. Today's the 26th day of October, 2021. We made 17 ticks in crude. We're break even there, so we're plus 170 on the morning session. Today, it took 2 minutes and 1 trade to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up $100 a contract, and we took a total of 14 trades. So on the month now, we're up 10,292. That's over 18 days, averaging 571. So we've gone 204 out of 207 days getting the goal on the year. And that puts us at $121,102 over 207 trading days, averaging $585 per contract per 2-hour trading day. So we had 207 possible days, and the data was only messed up really 1 out of those 207 possible days. I mean, I'm thinking of taking today completely out of the totals, just so the totals are exactly right. I think I will do that. Actually, I won't count today at all, and just to keep these exactly right. But that said, if you were to add 1 contract per month and quit trading when you got the goal for the day, you would currently have worked 55.33 hours, and your average hourly rate would be $2,528 per hour. Okay. All right. Let me go back here and tell you, if you want to take the free trial with us and you haven't, go here to eminitrainingschool.com. On this page, all we ask for is your first name, your email, and your phone number. You can tell us the biggest trading challenge so we can tailor one-on-one training just for you. Hit the send button, you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on that confirmation link. Okay, if you don't click the link, we don't know that you took the free trial. And Joseph, yes, I think that is the thing that I was looking for. I'm going to look at it again right here in a few minutes, and I'll get back to you on that. Okay. All right. that's it. With that, we can pass it back out to Studio A in fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Dwayne, if you are ready. Okay. Yeah, so the thing with the slingshot and the workspace is, sometimes what'll happen, Dwayne, I was just going to show you.
Oh, sorry.
But that's okay. Sometimes what'll happen is it'll come up as a line in the price panel down at the bottom, and you got to right click on it and do move to new area. And that's under series. Right click and go to series and move to new area. It'll drop it down in the bottom section, and then you got to turn it on because the S1 fast and the S3 cycle are set to false. So that's the deal. But the last 2 times that I sent the workspace through email yesterday, everything went through just right. So I'm gonna open up the one that I did for Joe yesterday right now because he just sent it back to me, and see how it opens up here. And if it opens up great, then I will fix everybody else's today. And I'll be sending out all those meeting links right now. Alright, so that's it.
Alright, I'm just reformatting this recap to fit my screen. So, give me 1 second. Alright, there we have it. Okay, recap the recap.
Today it took 2 minutes and 1 trade to get to $100 per contract.
Good job, Michael.
Thank you.
Alright guys, Logic 247, that's our 24/7 around-the-clock Emini alert service. It includes crude, gold, and silver. The markets open Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern and remain open until Friday afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern. The alert channel itself opens for business Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, stays open around the clock until Friday afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern. An alert could come out at 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. It's whenever opportunity presents itself. We have traders around the globe, so our day session is their night session, and vice versa. So far this week, since the open Sunday night, we've issued a total of 28 alerts. 1 never triggered. Still waiting on the results of 5. That gave us 22 actionable alerts, of which 3 or 14% would have been stopped out based on not risking more than $300 per contract per trade, less when possible, using market structure and a very simple 3-step process that we teach all of our traders. Along with the around-the-clock alerts, Logic 247, we also have our original alert service, the Concierge Trade Alerts. The format for those is different. The Concierge Alerts are posted as a static report shortly after the Globex Open. Last night got them out at 7:20 p.m. Eastern. You'll notice for each market, S&P, Dow, Russell, crude, NQ, gold, and silver. Okay, there's 2 numbers for each market. If you want to grab a screenshot, go ahead. Once this report is published, the numbers are good for the entire session. So if price starts trending up towards 45.71, that's bullish, which means our strategy, Logic 247, and everything you learn in the live training room each day from Michael and Valerie, that will lead you to look for opportunities to be long the market because price is moving higher. If price starts to trend down towards 45.43, well, that's bearish, which means our strategy and everything you learn in the live training room will lead you to look for opportunities to be short the market as it's declining. So with that, we'll go back to the daily chart, where, as mentioned earlier, we have a new all-time historic closing high yesterday and a new all-time historic intraday high today. We are well off the highs of the session. Should this candle close red, that might very well mark the new all-time historic intraday high for a while, we've got support right here at blue and climbing and the step line. That's roughly 45, 46. If price drops below that support, then the shallowest potential retracement is the 24% fib at 45.12/13. And then below that, the one that really has my attention, you got this swing high, you got this swing high, you got the 38% fib, and you got the daily BBC. Okay, those are three good reasons for the market to find support. Of course, at the 24, we would expect a nice bounce, and at the 38, the fact that it's coupled with these swing highs, which were once resistance, becoming support, and the BBC, that should give us a very, very nice bounce. When all the bouncing is done, if price gets below the daily BBC, you've got your 50% fib retracement, and then you've got the bullish cross. And just as over here, this bearish cross, which led to an extended move to the downside, when price revisited that area, we expected it to be resistance. We talked about it being resistance. It became resistance, and it gave us our next leg to the downside. So in reverse, if price makes it back down to this area here, where the bullish cross is, then we would of course expect that to be good support. Okay. Now what I just said about the daily chart is true across all markets and all time frames. Everything we do, everything we teach is fluid across all markets and all time frames. On the 30-minute S&P, last night's CTA, 45.71. Here's where the market opened. This vertical line separates Monday from Tuesday. The fact that this line extends all the way back, it should just be right there. And I won't do this on every market, but just to show you, these CTAs are for this session. So the first trigger at 45.71 sent us up to 45.75. That's 4 points. If your goal is 2 points a day, you got it twice right there. Okay, from the trigger at 71 to the swing high at 75, that's 4 points, $50 a point, $200 per contract traded. Price gets back below the trigger, finds support at the BBC, consolidates here at the CTA trigger. You've got red and falling. You need to let price get above red and falling before you start to go long. And this rally takes us up to 45.80.75. So from 71 to 80, there's 9 points. Price then comes back to the BBC. Pullback holds more often than it doesn't. And that gave us our all-time historic intraday high at 45.83. Price has now gotten below the BBC. As I said, the pullback holds more often than it doesn't. It held, and it held, and it held. Eventually we know it's not going to hold. It's now dipped back below the trigger. However, you've got the BBC overhead, and on the 30-minute chart, we only sell below the BBC. We only buy above the BBC based on the 30-minute chart. Now, if you're operating on smaller time frames, if you want to take advantage of a counter trend trade, there's the potential that you may have one here from 45.68 down to 45.66. This zone is 45.65/45.66. Okay, it's not a trade I'm recommending. I'm just pointing out that there is a counter trend trade opportunity. And the Logic 247 channel that I just showed you the results of, there's over 4,000 I'm sorry. Over 8,000. I think 400 and something. Individual alerts. All of those are trend trades based on the 30-minute chart, which means if it's a long logic alert, price is above the VBC. If it's a short alert, price is below the VBC. Price is now below the 30-minute VBC. I could put this out as an official alert, but because we've got this important price, important area right here at 45.71, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let the market settle itself out. We've dropped substantially over the last hour. It's going to be important to see if this area holds. If so, then we'll look for long trades this afternoon on the upside. On the Dow, last night's CTA, okay, here's where the market opened. The short side obviously never triggered. 685 to 713. So that's 15 and 13 is 28. So 28 points times $5 a point. It's almost $150 per contract traded. Sorry about that. AT&T calling. Oh boy. All right. So on the Dow, that same short opportunity is presenting itself. The zone is 35,630/35. If you were short 55, that would have given you a 20-point opportunity on the downside. So price gets back below the trigger, and here it just barely nudges itself above from 85 to 92. Then we get a pullback to the VBC. Price rallies up to the target from 685 to 730. That's 45 points at $5 a point. Price dips back below the trigger. Triggers again. However, that would mean going long below the VBC, so that's outside the guidelines of what we suggest. Remember, we only want to be long above the VBC, short below the 30-minute VBC. Now, in the live training room, Michael uses a 4-tick range chart, which is very fast. He doesn't refer to the larger time frame. I know he does on occasion, but basically he simply trades what's in front of him at any given time based off of the 4-tick range. On the Russell, long CTA is at 23.18, and the swing high was a little over 2 points, 2.3. So $100 per contract traded. Then we get another trigger and we run up to 23.21 and a half, so that's 3.5 points. Then we get back below the trigger. Still got blue and climbing here. So we put in a swing high at 20.2, so that's 2.2 points. And then we get back below the trigger. This time, not all triggers are created equal. You do trigger, but you have to push above the VBC, you have to push above red and falling. And so, in this case, you could have taken this trade. I probably would have resisted based on this, because this red and falling tells me that price is getting ready to turn to the downside, and it did. We went from the zone down to the zone. When price rallies up to a zone, we expect resistance. When price drops to a zone, we expect support. Only three things happen at a weekly trading zone. The most likely is consolidation. Second most likely is rejection. Third and least likely the slice. And so we have another short trade coming up here on the Russell. 2300. Now let's call it 22.99 down to 22.97, and then 22.94. It's potential support. Price often behaves around a weekly trading zone the same way it does a CTA. Or CTA behaves the same as a WTZ. And then you've got the zone below at 2286/87. Looking at this Russell chart, looking at this S&P chart, looking at this Dow chart, my comments earlier about this being the all-time historic intraday high for a while, it's looking more and more like a possibility, and if we close red today, then it becomes perhaps more of a probability. On the NQ, the trigger was 15,570. This first push up took us to 83.5, so that's 13 points at $20 a point. It's $260 per contract traded. Get back below the trigger, trigger again, make a run up to 15,612. So that's 42 points at $20 a point. Then we pull back to the BBC. The pullback holds more often than it doesn't, but we don't get below the trigger, and that gives us our big run, which took us all the way up to 15,700. So from 570 to 700, that's a 130 point move at $20 a point. It's a couple grand there. Okay. Notice price stayed above the BBC the entire trip up. Okay. Now in smaller time frames, that's not going to be the case, because we can clearly see it is the case here. Pull back to the BBC, the 30-minute. It holds more often than it doesn't, but we know eventually it won't hold. And here we have a candle that opened and closed below the BBC. We have another candle that opened and will potentially close below the BBC. And so on the short side, 15,551 down to 15,541. It's a $200 per contract trade. $51 to $41. It's 10 points, $20 a point, $200 per contract traded. Moving on to crude oil. Moving on to crude oil. 84.30 was the long trigger. 83.20 was the short trigger. So price comes down, it gets rejected. This time we trigger 83.20 and we drop to a low at 82.97. So it's $230 per contract traded. We didn't quite hit the trigger here. We pull back to the BBC. Got a nice bullish cross. If you learn this and nothing else, a leg, a retracement to the BBC that holds, a bullish cross, market says be long. Okay. Now, if you waited to 84.30 to get long, the first move up took you to 84.41. It's 10 points, $100 per contract traded. Price got back below the trigger, ran again. This time it ran to 52. It's $220 per contract traded. And then it got back below the trigger again and ran to the target at 75. $450 per contract traded. When price drops to a weekly trading zone, we expect it to be support. When price rallies up to a weekly trading zone, we expect it to be resistance. Okay? So the weekly trading zones are doing exactly what they are intended to do, and that's to be your fixed support and resistance for the entire week. Once these zones are published Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern, they're carved in stone for the entire week. They don't change. We don't massage them. We don't manipulate them. We don't make any excuses for them. They are what they are. We've published these weekly zones since December 14th of 2009. They have served us well for over a decade now. So what's the high probability move from here? Well, you have to consider that blue and climbing and the step line will provide support at roughly 84.50, presenting the potential for a long trade back up to the weekly zone. If price drops below blue and climbing and the step line, down here you have the BBC, which we would expect to be good support if price makes it that far. It's got to drop quite a bit. And then another leg to the long side. Leg and a retracement. Bullish cross. Up close. Get long. Hit the target. This process repeats itself over and over, again and again, every day. Price flows on every time frame in every market exactly the same. From support to resistance, back to support, back to resistance, over and over, again and again. Alright. So we've covered the S&P. Okay, that counter trend trade that we talked about, that I did not publish. Actually, that wouldn't have been a counter trend trade. It would have just been a trade, but I didn't publish it in the channel, but as you can see, it hit its target. I did not publish this. I just told you about it a few minutes ago. It's now hit its target. And the Russell, well, I guess I don't need to say it again. In Q, where I actually took the time to draw the little window. Now, I gave you a $200 per contract trade, live in real time on air. Okay, there it is. Traded right through it. So, for anybody that chooses to trade it, the bell's for you. Okay. All right, what do we have left? We already covered crude. Yep. So all we got left is gold and silver. Okay. So, while all the other markets went long, gold decided to take a walk on the short side, where it went from zone to zone. I don't know if anybody understands the importance of that, but look at how many hours we consolidated. These are 30-minute candles. Look at how many hours we consolidated at that zone. And then at this zone. Hour and a half. Where's price trying to go? To the BBC. Price always reverts to the mean. Price can make it there, and we'll look for a leg to the downside. Alright, so the short trigger was 1803, the swing low 1801.1. So it'll be $190 per contract traded. Price gets back above the trigger. This time it drops all the way to the target. This initial drop takes us down to 17, we'll call it 96. So $700 per contract traded. We didn't get back above the trigger, but we also never crossed red and falling. We never crossed the step line, and so the move continued down to the target. This was the published entry, the published target. So that's $1,500 per contract traded. That's what the market made available. And every one of our traders had every one of these numbers last night at 7:20 p.m. Eastern, along with all of the Logic 247 alerts. All right, last on the list, silver. $24.33, we hit a swing low at $24.31. It's 2 pennies, $100. Price drops below the trigger again, this time down to $24.25. Gets back above the trigger and drops to the target. Published entry $24.33. Published target $24.09/24.10. When the price of silver moves $1 from $23 to $24, if you're trading futures, that's worth $5,000 per contract traded. And that brings us back to our daily chart. The body of that candle just turned red. Be very cautious. If the price continues to drop, we're below the BBC on the 30-minute. If you want to trade it on the short side, just be aware of obstacles in your path. Be aware of where the weekly trading zones are. But this area, 45.46/47, which is a weekly trading zone, right here, where on the daily chart, where you have blue and climbing in the step line, that is also a weekly trading zone. Can't stress the importance of that enough. What do we expect to happen when price drops to a weekly trading zone? Support. On the daily chart or any other chart, when price drops to blue and climbing or the step line, what do we expect? Support. If price falls through that support and through that weekly trading zone, then remember the 24% fib is at 45.12/13. And just above that, we have a weekly trading zone at 45.14/45.15. No way I could have known those numbers on a Sunday night when I was preparing the weekly trading zones for this week. Not trying to pat myself on the back. I'm just trying to stress the importance to all of our members. When the zones come out, you need to get them on your chart. Don't throw out the previous week's zones. Put them on a notepad somewhere. But be aware, price travels from zone to zone to zone, sometimes back to the zone, back to the zone. Rarely travels in a straight line. But once you understand the power of the zones, I don't think you want to trade without them. Okay, so we'll see how deeply the market wants to decline. That ES trade, if you took it, worked out perfectly. So did the Dow, the Russell, the NQ. This market's heavy, guys. I don't know if some news just came out somewhere, or if we hit some magic price point that the powers that be preordained. That's the truth about trading. This is the one place you don't get any smoke blown up your chimney. If you want to be a part of the family, go to eminifuturestrading.com and get signed up. Valerie will take care of all of your needs. Whatever they are, she'll get you set up with your charting, with your indicators, access to all the Telegram groups, all the super secret passwords, the secret handshake, everything you need. What do you get in return for your lifetime passport? Well, you get to have a shot at being the 1 out of 10 versus the 9 out of 10. Now, Futures Magazine says that 9 out of 10 new traders fail. They published that article in 2006. No one's ever disputed it. In fact, some say it's 9.5 out of 10. But that's outside the walls of CFRN. Because outside the walls of CFRN, nobody gives you unlimited one-on-one mentoring. Nobody gives you 2 hours of live training every day in live markets, putting on, taking off trades, teaching you how to do the job. There's places that may be cheaper. You can buy all the books and all the videos in the world. But the only way you're going to learn how to trade is by trading. When you become a passport holder, you start out trading in your simulator. You trade along with Michael in the live training room. And as he trades, he explains every move he's making, the reason behind it. There's a rule for everything. The live training room is mechanical, rules-based trading. Once you learn the rules, once you get the mechanical side down, if you want to become a discretionary trader, then we'll help you with that as well. But it's important that you learn what Michael and Val teach you every morning in the live training room first. Emini FuturesTrading.com. Everything a trader needs, one low price. How low? Lower than one bad trade gone wrong. Go there and see it for yourself. EminiFuturesTrading.com. Good word for the day. We've been speaking the last 4 days about speaking positively. And now I'm going to speak to the mothers and fathers in the audience. I know a lot of you are grandmothers and grandfathers, and some of you are great-grandmothers and great-grandfathers. So, it doesn't matter because children are children. Proverbs 23:15. My child, if your heart is wise, my own heart will rejoice. Dad, if you succeed in making a good living, but fail to teach your children how to live right, your success will be empty, and you'll end up living with regrets. The average child spends 6 to 7 hours each day on the internet, or watching television, or interacting with their peer group. And every minute of it is creating their value system and molding them into the person they will become. So be there for them. If you have to sacrifice materially in order to develop them spiritually, it's a trade-off you'll always feel good about. Dorothy Nolt wrote words that every parent should carry with them. If a child lives with criticism, he learns to condemn. If a child lives with hostility, he learns to fight. If a child lives with ridicule, he learns to be shy. If a child lives with shame, he learns to feel guilty. But if a child lives with tolerance, he learns to be patient. And if a child lives with encouragement, he learns confidence. If a child lives with praise, he learns to appreciate. If a child lives with fairness, he learns justice. If a child lives with security, he learns to have faith. If a child lives with approval, he learns to like himself. If a child lives with acceptance and friendship, he learns to find love in this fallen world. Solomon, who himself was a father, put it this way: my child, if your heart is wise, my own heart will rejoice. And that's our good word for the day. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading E-mini futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.